This 1 Degree Outside video is brought to you by Fluid Form Bio, developing innovative 3D printing living pancreatic tissue to help combat type 1 diabetes. For the first time, you can join this visionary mission. Visit fluidformbio.com or their page on Start Engine to learn more about this exciting work. Weekend Insights recorded on a Friday, set to hold you all the way through the weekend. Let's get into the details of the forecast. First thing we're going to do is get an update on the brush fires. Of course, we do have some rain coming in. That's going to be helping the situation. It's been worse in areas southwest of New England than it has been here in the six-state region. Details on the weekend raindrops, we'll run that down. Summit snowflakes are expected by the time we get to Sunday. We're not done with that yet. And a quick rebound in terms of temperatures we get into next week. All right, let's start out with the brush fire update. So we've been talking about this the last couple of days, and I told you yesterday, everywhere you see a red dot is where there's a brush fire that's broken out. Now, you're seeing fewer of them when you get back around Indiana than we had yesterday, and that's largely because the rain has started to arrive there. We are seeing more of them, including in southern New England here. As a matter of fact, heard from a couple of you yesterday, said, you can add a dot to the Cape. Well, indeed, you can see, right around Bourne, we've been dealing with a wildfire here near Otis. You've got another one that's been burning in southern Rhode Island. You've got more that are up near Albany and in central and southern Vermont. And then, of course, in Jersey, fires continue to burn. The smoke plumes depicted in areas of gray that you see here on the map. And we've been talking about how this has been a product of what's been a split jet stream flow that kind of means the rain has been going north and south of us. Now, you're starting to see a phasing of the jet stream. That's a good thing if you want precipitation. It means we're going to bring southern moisture and northern energy together. You're seeing kind of the product of that on our water vapor imagery here, satellite shot, where the white and green indicates moisture, and that's starting to come together. So this is what's on its way for the weekend. It will greatly help the brush fire danger situation. Precipitation over the last 24 hours, you can start to see all that beginning to come together, and that is, again, what's going to take aim on the Northeast. It's not that great for your weekend plans. We had a couple of showers during last night and this morning, for that matter, as well. These are just on the leading edge to the warmer air coming in. The storm center itself, the more direct impact, is during the course of the day Saturday, and then this storm continues to wind up, and we're on the backside of it by Sunday. Notice the spike of warmth that comes up with the storm center on Saturday. So it's not a cold rain for most of us. It's a mild rain. There may be some thunder in there. We'll look at that in a minute. Then the backside, that's where the cooler air spills in, but it's very short-lived. Once high pressure starts building in, you're going to find that temperature rebounding as the weather gets better, getting into early next week. But you can see, at least for a day on Sunday, that cooler air that comes in, the greens that you're seeing here, highs in the 50s and 40s in some of northern New England. Let's zoom the map in. First, I want to give you the overview on how it breaks down. Then I'll get more specific on timing and placement and things like that. So the overview is, and we talked about this in the 24-hour forecast earlier this morning, that as we get warmer air coming in, that will continue to touch off some scattered showers or even a thunderstorm, particularly in central and northern New England during this evening, Friday evening into the night, although they all tend to drift north. Saturday does not look pretty. Again, we'll get closer up here in detail in just a moment. Sunday, you're on the backside of the storm. It's not real pretty either. You can see a number of clouds that build by midday, and there will be showers under these clouds in the northern half of New England, and by the afternoon, some scattered showers popping up in parts of southern New England, a brisk, if not chilly wind for spots, and then that very quick rebound that happens for Monday and Tuesday, and I'll show you the temperatures and what they do too. As I dive into the timing, just a reminder this weekend, I would use our app, and the way I would use it in particular is the hourly forecast will be helpful. I love that interactive map or radar page if you go to past plus future mode. I think it can be really, really helpful. Some of you are going to say right out of the gate, well, is there any concern about lightning? And the answer to that is yes, it's minimal, but it's present. So notice this evening, there is the chance, a low chance of an isolated strike when you get into central and southern New Hampshire. And then also Saturday morning, it's not like it really stands out. There is a low chance you get some embedded lightning both Saturday morning. And then again, perhaps on Saturday afternoon, there's 3 p.m. with a timestamp in the upper right with some of the downpours. But actually, one thing that I had mentioned to you in the early morning video is that if we get a little bit of a break in the action and it can warm enough, you actually may get a round of thunder that tries to come in here during the late day Saturday into Saturday evening. Take a look here and you can see that increased chance that builds as we get to Saturday evening. That's the cold front that'll be coming through. So those are your times you're watching in terms of a lightning potential. Notice at 9 o'clock Saturday morning, it is raining across the board. That's that low embedded lightning potential we talked about, but not really that elevated risk yet. As you get out to midday, still the downpours in here. Now, you can see it's not like when I say that there may be a lull would be the word to use. I wouldn't get all excited about it turning beautiful, but nonetheless, around 2 or 3 o'clock, you may at least see the rain break into scattered showers. In fact, that may happen as soon as 1 o'clock to about 4 or 5. Now, it doesn't mean, as you can see here, that it's not raining. It just means there may be enough of a break that the temperature could warm up. There may be some holes that develop in the rain, and you go to scattered showers. But if you do that, here's that round of potential thunderstorms that would develop from west to east, getting into late day and early evening hours. That's the cold front. That swings through, and that opens the new air. So you do dry out overnight Saturday night for many of us. Notice Sunday morning, rain showers in the mountains, some mixture when you get in the areas in pink and blue is where you'd find some snowflakes would be embedded in there as well. And that's the case particularly at the summits as we get to Sunday midday, Sunday afternoon. Look how chilly it is in northern New England in the 40s. Southern New England, you'll find building and billowing clouds that will fill the sky on Sunday. And by the afternoon, there will be at least some scattered rain showers that will try to pop up under those as well. So when you put it all together and say, how much rain do I get over the next 72 hours? This is why I say it really does help the brush fire situation. Generally 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain. Some spots may pick up even more than that by the time all is said and done. Will there be any snow? There will be. Mostly it's above 2,000 feet, but you're going to see in the snow prediction as we get through the upcoming weekend on Sunday in particular, that's where you get a coating to an inch in some of the mountaintops of Vermont, including Camel's Hump, you may get an inch. And then when you make your way into the presidentials, it may be more like 2 to 4 for those areas that show up in light blue. When you get across some of Coos County, we may be able to coat the ground on Sunday as well. In terms of wind, it's a warm wind on Saturday. You've got gusts that may go over 30 on the Cape during the course of Saturday afternoon. Most of us are not that gusty on Saturday. Even if you had an embedded thunderstorm, which you may, I'm not convinced it would bring very strong wind with it as it comes by. There's not a huge wind field that's blowing, but as we get to, let's say, Saturday evening, the wind begins to increase behind a cold front in western New England. It'll be breezy Saturday night with that new cooler air moving in, and here are your wind gusts on Sunday, generally coming out of the west or west northwest. You're going at about 30, 35 miles per hour, and then aligning out of the northwest during the afternoon. And that's when you actually get your greatest gusts. Later in the day, you may gust all the way up to 40 miles per hour. Day by day high temperatures. Saturday's highs, again, it's not a cold rain. You're able to get into the 60s. If you get some breaks in the showers for a while in that, let's say, 1 p.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. time frame, you get closer to 70. There will be some feeling of humidity that'll be in the air. And if we are able to get that little break that boosts the temperature a bit, you've got that chance of a storm that we looked at in the evening. Then the cold front comes by. Temperatures drop, but not to frosty levels on Saturday night at all. This is the much cooler day that's with us Sunday. Some of us not getting out of the 40s in parts of northern New England. Sunday night, we may get a frost in some of the valleys of northern New England. I think most of us would be exempt from that, largely because the breeze will be blowing, keeps the temperatures into the 40s for most of us. And I mentioned that really quick rebound going into next week. Take a look. Monday, high temperatures coming up near 70 degrees, maybe not quite in the North Country. And Tuesday, back up around or over 75. So again, you come back really quickly on this. We'll have our normal weekend morning update for you on Saturday with one last look to kind of time things out. So be sure you check back at the app or our homepage, onedegreeoutside.com for that, and swag.onedegreeoutside.com if you want the merch. All right, that's how it looks for now. Again, see you with a Saturday morning early update. Thanks for always making us part of your weather routine.